This is Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom, words on leadership, goal setting, productivity, and a whole lot more. I trust today that you will consider this like your vitamin or supplement for your mind and heart. And wherever you receive podcasts, would you please subscribe to Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom, leave a rating and a brief written review. It would be helpful, enabling others to be able to locate this podcast. Thanks for joining us today. I want to talk to you leaders about two words, rise and shine. The power of the morning, the power of a committed morning routine. When I first started talking about morning routines on the podcast, I am very well aware there are people who claim to not be morning people, they're night owls. And I was having a conversation with a friend of mine named Paul, who said to me, don't feel badly about talking about morning routines. I believe I could have used that wise counsel when I was younger. I just want you to know that I don't know that I have any particular secrets from my own life, but if there's one thing that year in and year out has worked, it is a devoted morning routine. Now, over the years, I have really sharpened it. Steve Jobs kind of put it all in perspective when he said, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I'm about to do today? The reason I love that quote is the fact that most of us just wander through the days. It's just one unending day after another day, and we forget that the days are the building blocks of destiny and our lives. Someone has said, I believe it was Jim Rohn, that days are expensive. When you spend a day, you have one less to spend. So make sure you spend each day wisely. Great advice. Why do we need a morning routine? I think the number one reason is that by having a well thought out and then executed morning routine, productivity increases. Now I'm going to go out on a limb and say something that I know is true in my own life and believe it to be true for you if you'll just do this. And that is that not only does productivity increase when I have a concerted morning routine, my productivity increases exponentially. I think of just the things that I was able to do this morning. There would have been a time in my life it had taken me 3 to 4 days to accomplish the things that I accomplished in the morning. And so the first is that your productivity increases when you get up in the morning and have a morning routine. Now you have perhaps one of those who have said, I'm going to try this. I'm going to see if all of this talk about morning routines really works. I'm going to make a plan and I'm going to try to do that. The difficulty is you just need to start. A year from now, you may wish you had started today. Your future self is going to wish that you had started today with a plan, that you would have gotten up and got going. So the first reason is I can just assure you your productivity will increase. One of the reasons that I enjoy the morning routine is it's quiet, and I'm going to guess at your house it's quiet. If you still have children at home, you'll need to get up before they arise. If you have a spouse, you'll be able to get up and get some things done when it's still quiet. What I notice is when it's quiet, rarely are people sending me emails. People are not calling me. So it's easier to have a focused time of concentration and working through the things I need to do. The third thing goes right along with the quiet. It allows me a head start on my day. I have this theory that if I get some things done early in the morning, it somehow takes the pressure, it relieves the pressure of getting all of the things done that I need to get done today. It is sort of like a jump start, a quick start. Let's just call it a head start. And I just am able to function better knowing I have a head start. Which leads me to the fourth thing, which is I'm just fresher. Now, I know that there are some of you who are night owls and think that your best, most productive time is in the evening. But what I've noticed about many night owls, they're watching movies, they're looking at YouTube videos, they're surfing the internet. Rarely are they working through a list and getting things done. There are other people who feel like they can't ever meet a deadline until they make it a crisis, that their time is about to run out, and they're going to be embarrassed if they haven't gotten the procedures done, the things done that they needed to get done within the allotted time. And some people just really seem to thrive under that pressure. Why? Get up early, knock the things out. You'll have more time later in the afternoon, perhaps even in the evening, to get some of those other things done. This is not a cry to work 24 hours a day. This is a plea to get up and get the significant things of life accomplished early. Your future is created by what you do today, not what you do tomorrow. That's Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad fame. You have to be fresh, and your future will be created by the things that you are able to accomplish today, not about by the things you think you're going to do tomorrow, or you have a hankering to get done tomorrow. Your future is going to be dependent on the things that you get done and the things that you do today. So get up and get after it while you're fresh. The fifth thing that I'm going to say is most important tasks. Now, I know that all of us feel different ways about task lists, to-do lists. I'm one of those who talks about making sure you get all of those lists into your calendars, and don't build a list if it's not actionable. There are other kinds of lists, but on your task lists, on your most important tasks, it has to be something that you can take action on, and you know what that is. My morning routine actually doesn't begin in the morning. My morning routine begins the night before, because I also have an evening routine. I've had an evening routine the vast majority of my life. When I explain it to people, I'm more liable to come in for ridicule before I even lay my clothes out for the next day the night before. That's sort of how I am. So you can go ahead and laugh. But the night before, part of my evening routine is to figure out what are the three most important tasks, what are the three most important items that I need to get accomplished tomorrow. Now, just hold on for a moment. I will more than likely, on most days, attempt to do more than three things. But I mean three things that if the world fell apart and I could only get three things done, what would they be? They are things that are crucial. They are obviously things that are vocationally related, but I at least make sure one, if not two of them, are goal-related, things that will move me closer to accomplishing the goals that I have. That's though we are, said Aristotle, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. And if you will start by listing three important tasks I have to do today and do them. And here's how I hold my feet to the fire. I write down lots of things, and then I go through and identify, here are the three that I'm going to do first. They're going to be done. And I'm so committed to them that I make a commitment to myself that if these three are not accomplished tomorrow, I will not go to bed until those three things are accomplished. And just that internal pressure is enough to keep me focused on getting those things done. Now, right along with the most important tasks, will be the sixth thing about my rise and shine and my morning routines. And it is simply this: do the toughest one first. Not only after I identify the three, then I identify the one that maybe I have some angst regarding it. Maybe it's the one that if it was the middle of the day and I had to do it, I wouldn't have the energy. It is from the theory that I first heard from Brian Tracy. I'm not sure whether it's his or someone else's idea. It's basically eating the frog. Eat the frog. And the frog would represent that which is difficult, that which is staring you in the face, even perhaps that which may be frightening you a little bit. You need to do the toughest thing first. Do the toughest thing first. You'll never change your life until you change something you do daily. And if you start not only doing the three most important tasks, but making up your mind that the first thing in the morning you're going to act on the toughest task, success will be found in your daily routine. And it can't be hit and miss. It can't be just every other day or a day a month. It needs to be consistent. And by consistent on this, I mean daily. Go ahead. That's why I find the morning is the easiest time to get it done. All right, what are some of the things that I do during my morning routine? I read for a half an hour. I pray and read the Bible. I will get my exercise in sometime in the morning for this simple fact. I have discovered, it may just be unique with me, I know there are many of you who enjoy unwinding after the day and do your exercise in the afternoon and the evening. I'm not fussing at you, but for me, it's something I do in the morning. I keep some water out, room temperature, so that I hydrate. It's also the time that I write in my journal. When I get through my most important tasks, I have a few mundane tasks I will do. I do not check my email first thing. I wait a little later in the morning. Hal Elrod, in his Morning Miracle, has an acrostic called SAVERS, in which the S stood for silence, so that would be prayer and meditation. The A stood for affirmations, which is sort of positivity. The V of his stands for visualization. I have taken the affirmation, or the A and the V, and have kind of made that Bible reading and prayer. The E in SAVERS stands for exercise, the R for read. And then because he was using this neat acrostic SAVERS, he had to come up with a word for S, and he used the word scribing, which you and I certainly know as writing or journaling. And that journaling, I have discovered, is a very, very important component. The exercise, the journaling, the prayer, the Bible reading, all of these sorts of things that I do, even the stillness of it, are things that really help keep me focused and centered on what I should be doing. How you spend your morning can often tell you what kind of a day you're going to have. Now that comes from Lemony Snicket. And if you had a child at home when that was turned into a movie, that's a writing name for an author, especially an author of children's books. But how you spend your morning will determine what kind of a day you're having, and it just happens regularly. When I follow my morning routine and I move through it, it's just a precursor that it's going to be a fabulous day because I have gotten some important things done, oftentimes even before I get into my office. You've been listening to Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom, words on leadership, goal setting, productivity, and a whole lot more. I trust today this has been like a vitamin or a supplement for your mind and heart. And wherever you receive podcasts from, would you please subscribe to Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom, leave a rating and a brief written review. Tell your friends and neighbors. I would greatly appreciate it. Remember, my leadership friend, even in these tough times, you are doing better than you think you are. You really are. And until next time, this is Dr. Ron saying, have a great and blessed day.